The house that waited for me under the old maple tree. Tonight, as the world quiets itself, as lights dim behind windows far away, as distant roads fall silent and the last thoughts of the day soften into blurred shapes, I'd like to take you somewhere warm, somewhere unhurried, somewhere that feels like a memory you once loved, even if you've never truly been there before. A place where the air moves slowly, where the earth smells of rain and old leaves, and where a small wooden house waits beneath an ancient maple tree, glowing faintly in the night like a lantern left on just for you. A place that remembers you, even if life has been loud, even if your thoughts have been tangled, even if rest has felt far away. This house has been waiting, not expecting, not demanding, just waiting, like a silent promise that no matter how far you drift, there is always a corner of the world that wants nothing from you except your presence. And tonight, you are finally making your way back to it. The walk begins quietly. You follow a narrow path of soft earth and damp leaves. They give under your steps with a warm, muffled sound, not a crunch, but a gentle yielding, as if welcoming someone they've carried before. Rain earlier in the evening has darkened the forest floor. Now the leaves glisten in small pools of moonlight, turning patches of the path into tiny mirrors that tremble when the wind touches the branches above. The air is cool, not cold, just enough to make you breathe a little deeper, drawing in the scents of cedar, moss, wet soil, and the faint sweetness of the maple that towers somewhere ahead. The deeper you walk, the slower the world becomes. The thoughts you carried with you, the unfinished conversations, the long-held worries, the tightness in your chest, they loosen one thread at a time, like a knot placed by someone else that your hands finally have permission to untie. Every step forward feels like laying something down, not getting rid of it, just placing it gently on the soft earth, letting the forest hold it for a while. The path curves gently to the left, then right, then opens into a clearing, and there, silhouetted against the softly glowing sky, stands the old maple tree. It is larger than you remembered, taller, wider, older, as though it has spent every year since you last saw it deepening itself, layering ring upon ring beneath its bark like quiet stories. Its branches stretch outward like arms open in welcome. Leaves rustle with a deep, steady sound, like a slow breath the tree has been taking for decades. The bark is ridged and textured, thick with age. Rain still clings to it in beads that shimmer faintly. The air under the tree feels different, warmer somehow, more contained, as if the tree forms a small room of its own beneath its canopy. You walk toward it. When your hand reaches out and touches the bark, it is warmer than you expect, warm in a way that feels alive, steady, grounded, ancient. You rest your palm against it and allow your eyes to close. For a moment, you simply breathe. The world narrows to the warmth beneath your hand. Your chest softens. Your shoulders lower by a fraction. A small, quiet ache you didn't know you were carrying melts into the stillness. The tree seems to gather the tension from your body, not taking it away, but holding it gently, like cupping water in its roots. You leave your hand there a little longer. Then, as if sensing your readiness, The tree lets out a slow rustle, a soft encouragement. You open your eyes, and that's when you see it, beyond the maple's wide branches, glowing warmly through the mist. Waits the house. It looks exactly as you remembered it, and yet, somehow, softer. A single warm light glows through the front window, golden, steady, almost candle-like. The wooden boards of the exterior shine faintly from the earlier rain, reflecting hints of amber from the window's glow. A thin trail of smoke rises from the old chimney, drifting into the cool night air. The scent reaches you faintly, cedar and something sweet, maybe vanilla or warm spice. The porch creaks softly in the wind, and the steps are covered with freshly fallen leaves. They don't look swept. Instead, they look as though the house doesn't mind them, as though it has made peace with the seasons long ago. As you approach, something gentle stirs in your chest, a sensation halfway between longing and relief. The house feels familiar, not in the way a place from childhood feels familiar, but in the way a dream that once comforted you feels familiar. A quiet memory, a place your mind returns to when it needs to breathe. You reach the front step. Before your hand even touches the doorknob, door opens a few inches, slowly, quietly, as if moved by a breeze that came from inside. A soft glow spills out onto the porch, not bright, not urgent, just warm, like a whisper. You're home. Come in. You step inside. The moment the door closes behind you, the world outside becomes muted. The rain, the wind, even the thoughts you brought with you. They all seem distant, softened like they're behind thick glass. The room inside is small and warmly lit. A single lantern sits on a wooden table near the window, casting a gentle amber glow that reaches every corner. The fireplace crackles quietly, a slow, comforting sound. The air smells of cedar wood, cooling tea, and the faint sweetness of old books. A woven rug cushions your feet. A deep armchair sits near the fire, draped with a thick blanket. On the far wall, a shelf holds small objects, jars of dried herbs, small stones with natural patterns, a bundle of lavender tied with twine, an old clock that isn't ticking, a wooden frame with no picture inside. You take a slow breath. Warmth fills your lungs. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw relaxes. Your fingers uncurl. You walk deeper into the room. Every step sounds soft, the wooden floor creaking in a slow, familiar rhythm, like a house humming to itself. You notice something. There is no urgency here, no pressure, no expectation, only room to exist, only space to be. On a low table sits a small green book, the same one we saw before, but now it is open to a page somewhere in the middle. Ink has faded slightly, but the words remain clear, written in small, rounded handwriting. Rest, even if your mind whispers otherwise. You sit on the edge of the armchair and run your fingers along the page. Another line waits beneath it. You are safe in places that remember you. And beneath that, let the night be soft tonight. The sentences feel like warm hands on your back. You turn the page. More notes, each one written as though someone was thinking of a future reader, someone who might need gentleness at a time when gentleness feels rare. Slow down. Breathe here. This moment belongs to you. You can set the heaviness down. A small knot rises in your throat. Not sadness, not overwhelm, just release. You close the book softly. The house seems to exhale with you. You sink into the armchair fully now. The cushions mold around your shape, warm from the fire but not too warm. You pull the blanket over your legs, heavy, woven, comforting. The rain outside begins again, not sharply, but as a gentle, steady patter against the roof. You close your eyes, just for a moment. The warmth of the fire glows against your eyelids. The crackle of wood mixes with the soft rain. Your breath grows deeper, longer, easier. The house feels alive around you, not moving, not speaking, just holding space. You let yourself sink. You let yourself soften. You let yourself be carried by the warmth. And slowly, very slowly, your thoughts drift like leaves on a late autumn stream. The fire shifts softly beside you, sending a thin ribbon of warmth toward your hands. You lay your palms near the edge of the armrest, fingers relaxing into the fabric's gentle weave. A deep breath forms in your chest without you needing to think about it. The kind of breath that fills all the way in and releases slowly, naturally, without effort. The blanket, heavy and woven with thick threads, begins to feel like a quiet anchor across your lap. It grounds you. It centers you. It reminds you that you are allowed to rest here. Your gaze drifts toward the window. Outside, the rain has settled into a steady, rhythmic pattern, soft even, unhurried. Each drop lands on the porch roof and trickles downward, forming thin streams that glow faintly when passing beneath the warm light spilling from the window. The maple tree stands in the mist, like a guardian. Its branches sway gently, almost imperceptibly, as if rocking the night into calmness. You find yourself breathing in time with the tree, a slow inhale as its leaves rise, a slow exhale as they fall back into stillness. The house seems to sync with this rhythm too. You can feel it in the floorboards beneath your feet, a subtle settling, a deep, old reassurance. You are held here, not by walls or furniture, but by presence, a quiet, generous presence that expects nothing of you. Somewhere in the kitchen a soft whistle begins. It is not sharp, not urgent, just a gentle note, like a quiet nudge from someone who cares for you. You rise from the armchair slowly, letting the blanket fall around your hips before you fold it neatly over the back. The warmth of the fire lingers along your arms as you walk toward the source of the sound. The kitchen is dimmer, more shadowed, but still warm. A single lamp over the counter glows softly, illuminating the wooden grain of the cabinets and the worn metal handle of the kettle. Steam curls upward in delicate spirals. The scent of herbs floats in the air, chamomile, lemon balm, a hint of lavender. Beside the kettle sits a ceramic mug with a small chip in the rim. Someone long ago must have held it carefully, again and again, until it became part of the house's memory. Without thinking, you reach for it. The ceramic is warm, comforting. You pour the steaming water into the mug, watching it dissolve the herbs tucked inside. They swirl slowly, drifting like small leaves floating across a still pond. You bring the cup close and inhale. The scent settles something deep within your chest. It loosens a place you didn't know was tight. A small wooden stool waits beside the counter. You sit on it, cupping the mug between your hands. The first sip is soft, warm, quieting. The warmth travels down your throat and settles in your core, spreading outward in slow, steady waves. The rain outside grows quieter, as if leaning in to listen. And for the first time in a long while, your mind has nothing to say, just stillness, a rare, precious stillness. Your eyes drift to the far wall, where an old clock hangs crookedly. Its hands are frozen at a time you can barely make out. You watch it for a moment, expecting movement. But of course, there is none. The clock doesn't tick, doesn't count, doesn't push the night forward. Here, time isn't something that passes. It is something that rests. You realize suddenly the clock's stillness is intentional. This house isn't meant for schedules or obligations or measuring how long things take. It is meant for the opposite. You take another sip of your tea, feeling the heat warm your palms again. You stand holding the mug gently and walk toward the window above the kitchen sink. The glass is fogged from the heat inside, leaving only blurred colors of the outside world. You wipe a small circle with your sleeve. Beyond the fogged surface, the rain glistens over the earth like silver threads. The maple tree looms peacefully, watching over the house as it always has. A soft glow pulses beneath the branches, fireflies drifting lazily through the damp air, blinking in slow patterns that feel almost like a message. Not loud, not clear, just comforting. The forest seems to breathe with you. You leave the kitchen carrying the last warmth of the tea inside your chest. The main room welcomes you again with its soft firelight and shadowed corners. But tonight, you notice something you hadn't before. A hallway extends behind the fireplace, narrow, wooden, softly lit by a single lantern hanging at the far end. It looks like a path into the quieter parts of the house. You step toward it. The floorboards creak under your feet, not in protest, but in recognition. The lantern at the end sways slightly, though no breeze touches it. Its flame flickers gently, casting long, soft shadows across the walls. There are 3 doors along the hallway, each one a different shade of wood, each one slightly worn at the edges, as though touched by many hands over the years. You run your fingers along the first door. The wood is smooth, warm, comforting in its age. You feel a pull, a gentle curiosity, but you move on, letting your hand slip away from the frame. The second door is darker, older. Its handle is cool beneath your fingertips. A faint scent of lavender drifts from beneath the crack at the bottom. You breathe it in. Your shoulders relax a little more. Still, you move on. The third door is slightly ajar. A warm glow seeps through the opening, flickering softly like candlelight. This one calls to you in a different way, quietly but unmistakably. You place your hand on the edge of the door and push it open a little further. The room inside is dim, soft, hushed, waiting. You step inside. The walls glow faintly with reflected lantern light. A small window on the far side reveals the dark silhouette of the maple tree, its branches swaying lazily in the night wind. A bed sits beneath the window, simple, wooden, covered with thick quilts in warm, earthy colors, deep burgundy, muted sage, soft cream. The pillows look impossibly soft. At the bedside stands a small table with a lit candle flickering gently, a small bowl of dried chamomile flowers, a folded note beneath a smooth stone. Your breath catches slightly. You set your mug on the table and lift the stone. The note beneath it is written in the same soft handwriting as the book earlier. It reads, "You may lay down what you carried." You close your eyes. The message settles into your chest like a warm, glowing ember. You sit on the edge of the bed. The quilts sink under your weight with a deep, comforting give. The mattress supports you with gentle firmness. You run your hand across the blanket. The fabric is textured, slightly rough, but warm and familiar. The candle flickers at your side. The rain hushes itself outside. This room feels like a heart beating slowly, steady, warm, patient. A room made for rest, a room made for someone who needed softness, someone like you. You lay the note back down, placing the smooth stone atop it once more. The candle flame dances lightly, throwing a soft glow across the walls. The scent of chamomile fills the air. You inhale deeply. Something in your body shifts, a release, a loosening. You slip beneath the quilt and feel its weight settle over you, grounding, protective, warm. The sheets beneath are cool at first touch, then quickly soften to your temperature. Your whole body exhales at once. The rain outside becomes a soft, steady rhythm, like fingertips tapping lightly on the earth, like a lullaby meant only for you. You close your eyes. The house holds its breath with you, and then lets it out slowly, as if syncing its rhythm to yours. You feel yourself sinking, not falling, gently settling, drifting deeper into the warmth of the bed, into the hush of the room, into the soft hands of the night. Your mind begins to blur at the edges, thoughts turning into shapes, shapes dissolving into feelings, feelings melting into warmth. The last thing you sense is the maple tree outside, standing guard, rustling softly as if whispering, "Rest, you're safe here." And in the deep quiet of the wooden house under the old maple tree, you let go, fully, completely, peacefully. For a long moment you simply rest there, beneath the heavy quilt, listening to the soft hush of the rain against the roof. The rhythm is steady, protective, as if the night itself is standing sentinel just beyond the walls of the house. The faint glow of the candle flickers across the room, warming the wooden boards and the edges of the quilt. Shadows move slowly along the far wall, swaying in quiet patterns that soothe your eyes until even looking feels like drifting. Your body grows heavier, sinking deeper into the mattress. Your breathing slows further, and then a soft sound. Not a knock, not a call, more like a gentle brush of wind moving through the hallway. It's the house settling, you think. It moves the way old houses do, slowly, comfortably, as if adjusting itself around you to make space. You let the sound wash over you, and soon it fades into the background hum of the night. In the quiet, the house begins to reveal itself in a new way. Though you are lying still, you begin to notice the tiny layers of sound that give a place its soul. The low, steady crackle of the fire from the main room, the soft ticking sound the candle wick makes as it burns, the whisper of the wind slipping under the eaves, the rain's gentle percussion, a rhythm as old as the earth. It feels alive somehow, alive in the peaceful way that a place becomes when it has been lived in, cared for, and allowed to grow comfortable in its own stillness. You can feel that stillness settling over you like a second blanket. There is no urgency here, nothing waiting for you to finish, nothing asking you to be different than you are in this exact moment. It is rare, you think, to find a place where you're allowed to simply be, and the house seems to understand this. It seems to say, stay, rest. There is time for everything else later. You breathe deeper. Your eyelids drift open again, slowly. Through the dim candle glow, you can see the window across the room. Outside, the giant maple tree stands silhouetted against the faintest silver of the sky. Its branches sway gently, and for a moment, the movement echoes the rise and fall of your breathing. You watch the leaves flutter softly in the rain, glowing faintly whenever lightning far away, barely perceptible, brightens the horizon. There is no thunder, just the distant flicker of light behind clouds. It feels like the sky's dreaming. The wind moves through the leaves like a quiet lullaby, a sound so soft it almost feels internal, as though it's happening somewhere in your chest. Your eyes linger on the window pane, where droplets slide slowly downward, tracing their own wandering paths. Some merge, some split, some pause for a long time before continuing their descent. You find comfort in their aimless movement, nothing rushed, nothing forced, just slow, easy gravity carrying them to their place. Your breath begins to follow their pace, slow, even, steady, as the night deepens around you. The candle on the bedside table flickers again, drawing your eyes gently back inside the room. Its flame moves in a soft rhythm, almost like it's breathing with you. Not bright or sharp, just warm enough to paint the air with a golden softness. The melted wax has pooled at the base of the wick, forming a small glowing well that reflects the flame's gentle sway. It gives the impression of depth, like a tiny world of light contained within a single moment. You reach out a hand toward the candle knot, close enough to touch it, just close enough to feel the faint warmth in the air. Your fingers relax, your wrist softens, your arm sinks back against the quilt. The candle feels like a watchful presence, not guarding but accompanying. I'm here, it seems to whisper. You can rest. I won't let the night feel too dark. The reassurance settles into you more deeply than you expect. The candle's glow becomes a quiet companion in the room, one that does not fade or falter. You adjust slightly under the quilt, and the bed responds with a gentle give, the kind that suggests it has held many bodies, many nights, many quiet moments of surrender. The mattress is firm enough to support you, yet soft enough to cradle each curve of your body. The pillows yield beneath your head, letting your neck relax, letting your shoulders drop completely. The quilt holds its warmth, pressing lightly against your stomach, your legs, your feet. Your limbs grow heavier. Your mind begins to wander, not in circles, not in worries, but in soft drifting patterns that feel untethered and light. You slip deeper into the bed, into its memory, into its softness. It feels like being held, not tightly, not possessively, just held, like falling asleep in someone's hands. The rain grows a little stronger, but never loud, more like a whisper that becomes clearer, a presence that moves closer to you. The droplets fall in layered sounds, some tapping gently on the window frame, some landing on leaves outside, some running down the roof in slow, watery trails. You listen. The rhythm is steady, hypnotic. Different tones blend together. The deeper resonance from the porch roof, the crisp patter against the window pane, the soft rustle of wet leaves stirred by wind. These layers weave into a kind of nighttime lullaby, ancient and soothing. You imagine the rain falling over the entire forest, washing the earth clean, feeding the roots of the maple tree, refreshing every blade of grass, every patch of moss. The world outside feels softened, hushed, comforted. And you feel connected to it, as if the rain is falling for you, not on you, as if its purpose tonight is to ease the edges of your thoughts. You breathe in again, a long, slow, quiet inhale. Your ribs expand gently beneath the quilt. When you exhale, your entire body seems to settle another inch deeper into the mattress. The candle flickers once more, and a soft glow sweeps across the ceiling, highlighting faint patterns in the wood. You trace them lazily with your eyes, lines, knots, subtle swirls where the grain twists, the natural geometry of a tree's lifetime captured above you. As you stare, the patterns begin to feel less like wood and more like stories, places where the ceiling has been warmed by decades of firelight, moments when someone sat where you are sitting now, nights where someone else listened to the rain and felt themselves soften just as you are softening now. You realize you are not the first person this house has cradled into sleep, and you will not be the last. The thought comforts you. You let your eyelids lower halfway, then close fully. Shapes dance behind your eyelids, soft colors, drifting forms, nothing sharp, nothing clear, like the sky dreaming behind closed clouds. Your breath deepens again. The candle's warmth, the bed's embrace, the rain's rhythm, the house's stillness, all blend into one seamless sensation. You hover on the edge of sleep, not falling in, just floating, held, supported, between this world and the next. A faint creak sounds in the hallway, then another. The house is shifting, the slow, natural movement of wood adjusting to the night's coolness. It's a familiar sound in old places, and here it feels like a gentle reminder. You are not alone. The house is awake with you, watching over you. You picture the hallway outside your room, the lantern glowing softly, the wooden floor stretching toward the main room, the book left open on the table, the fire settling into embers. It is all still there, unchanged, unhurried, and it will still be there when you wake. The security of that thought wraps around you like another layer of warmth. You become aware of how deeply relaxed your body has become. Your jaw unclenches, your tongue rests softly, your shoulders release their final bit of tension. Your arms grow heavy beside you. Your legs sink into the mattress. Your spine softens. Your breathing becomes a slow tide, in and out, in and out. The house breathes with you. The maple tree breathes with you. The night breathes with you. You are part of something slow and ancient and gentle, and for the first time in a long time, your mind has nothing to hold on to, nothing to fix, nothing to replay, nothing to fear. You are simply here, and here is enough. You lie there for a while, suspended in a kind of peaceful drifting. The quilt, the warmth, the scent of chamomile, the soft glow of candlelight, everything around you seems to blend into a single sensation. A cocoon of gentle stillness. Your breath becomes the center of the room, slow, steady, effortless. Each inhale draws in warmth. Each exhale releases something old, something tired, something your body no longer needs to hold. Outside, the rain continues its quiet song, tapping softly on the roof, the leaves, the window frame. It is steady, predictable, safe, You begin to sense the depth of the night, a vast, calming darkness that extends beyond the house, the forest, even the sky. Not an empty darkness, but a full one. A darkness that understands rest. A darkness that carries you gently. The candle flame flickers, casting soft golden waves across the walls. In your half-sleeping state, the movement feels hypnotic, almost like the flame is swaying to the rhythm of your breathing. The wax continues to melt, shaping itself into slow, rounded forms. It drips in gentle intervals, creating tiny ripples of sound inside the quiet room. You watch it, barely awake, as the flame grows and shrinks in a slow, peaceful dance. Something about this small light feels alive, companion-like, deeply familiar. It's as if the candle doesn't simply illuminate the room, but watches over you, softly, lovingly, without judgment. The flame leans slightly toward you, as though recognizing your presence. Then it steadies, holding its place, holding you. A breeze moves through the night outside, brushing against the house with a soft sigh. The maple tree responds in long, slow waves, its leaves rustling like fabric being shaken out before folding into stillness again. You can almost hear something in the movement, a message, a whisper, not in words, but in feeling, a reassurance. You're safe, you're protected, you can rest. It's strange, perhaps, that a tree could feel protective, and yet, this one does. There is something ancient in its presence, something steady and wise. It has weathered many nights, many storms, many changing seasons, and it will weather many more. Tonight it shelters you without asking anything in return. You picture its roots stretching deep into the earth, anchoring, holding, embracing the land with quiet strength. You imagine its branches spreading high above the roof, forming a natural canopy that shields the house from wind and rain. It feels like a guardian, a silent, steadfast guardian that needs no acknowledgement to continue its watch. You rest easier beneath its protection. From the main room, you hear the last bits of wood settling in the fireplace. The crackles become softer, deeper, more rhythmic. The fire is no longer burning brightly. Now it glows in thick, pulsing embers, radiating a low heat that travels through the walls and into your room like a warm tide. The comfort of it surrounds you, even from a distance. The ember glow creates the impression of heartbeat-like light. Slow, steady, reassuring. Each pulse seems to say, "I'm here. You can sleep." You imagine the fire in the other room, the warm logs, the red-orange glow, the faint scent of cedar rising through the house. It reminds you of winter nights, of someone placing a blanket around your shoulders, of stories told in soft voices. It is a memory, a sensation, a feeling, all at once. The warmth expands in your chest. Your muscles release a little more. Your jaw softens. Your eyelids grow heavier. Your body sinks deeper into the mattress, so deeply that it almost feels as if the bed is shaping itself around you. The room grows warmer, quieter, softer. You shift slightly, and the quilt moves with you, settling into new folds that feel perfectly placed. Every inch of you is supported. Your neck, your back, your shoulders, your hips, your legs, your feet. This bed seems to understand something that many places do not. That rest is not a luxury. It is a need, a deep, essential need. And here, you are allowed to have it. No guilt, no pressure, no expectations, just rest. Your breath slows again, in and out, in and out. You float in the warmth. Somewhere in the hallway, a gentle shift of wood echoes softly. The house, like you, is settling deeper into the night. It does not disturb you. It comforts you. Old houses have a way of breathing, slow expansions and contractions as temperature changes. Wood adjusting to the weight of the world outside. Shadows lengthening and shrinking in response to flame and wind. This house breathes with the same rhythm as you. You begin to feel as though you are lying at the center of a living being, a warm, protective creature made of memory and wood and time, and it is holding you with absolute gentleness. A thought drifts through your mind, slow and warm. I am allowed to rest. The world outside continues its quiet symphony. The patter of rain, the whisper of wind, the distant rustle of leaves, the soft hum of earth settling. Each sound blends into a single, seamless melody, a lullaby made not of notes, but of nature. You imagine the night beyond the house, puddles forming beneath the maple, grass bending under raindrops, the forest floor glowing faintly with moisture, small nocturnal creatures moving softly among the roots, the sky stretching endlessly overhead, dark and comforting. The whole world feels slowed, gentle, wrapped in a blanket of darkness that protects rather than obscures. You feel connected to it all. The forest, the sky, the rain, the roots of the maple tree, the embers of the fire, the breath of the house. Everything supports you. Everything holds you. Everything whispers the same message. You can let go. Your mind drifts into a softer place now. Thoughts no longer form sentences. Images come and go without shape. Colors, warmth, sensations, memory fragments that dissolve before they fully appear. This is the threshold of dreaming, that delicate space where consciousness and sleep blend like watercolors. You hover here for a while, floating between worlds, safe, held, unbothered by anything beyond this moment. Your breath becomes slow and deep. Your limbs grow heavy and still. Your heart settles into a quiet, rhythmic beat. You feel at last the deep truth of this house. It does not simply shelter you. It cradles you. It gives you permission to rest in a way your body remembers, even when your mind forgets. And tonight, finally, you surrender to that permission. The night grows deeper now, not darker, deeper, a kind of quiet that carries weight, warmth, and a softness that seems to seep into every corner of the little house. The candle beside your bed flickers in a slow, rhythmic pattern, its glow tracing golden arcs along the wooden wall. Your breathing mirrors that rhythm. Slow inhale, soft exhale. Inhale, exhale. The quilt rises and falls gently with your chest, each breath sinking you further into the soft fabric beneath you. Your body is no longer something you hold. It is something the bed holds for you. The house has settled into its nighttime stillness. Everything feels wrapped in a calm that asks nothing of you. Nothing at all. The candle burns lower. The flame becomes smaller, rounder, softer. It flickers less now, as if matching the slowing pace of your thoughts. Wax pools into a smooth, reflective surface around the wick, catching the last of the fire's glow. You watch it lazily, eyes half open, then half closed, then drifting in and out. The flame narrows, bows slightly, then rises again, as if breathing with you. It doesn't fight the dimming. It simply follows the night's invitation. You let your eyelids lower. The flame becomes a warm blur through your lashes. Then it becomes a soft color, then only a feeling. The house grows darker, but the darkness feels like velvet, thick, warm, soft against your skin. You welcome it. Outside, the maple tree sways, its branches moving in slow, gentle arcs. You hear the faint whisper of leaves brushing against one another, a sound like distant waves rolling across a quiet shore. Each movement sounds like a lullaby, an ancient lullaby, a lullaby older than you, older than the house, older than memory itself. The wind travels through the tree, gathering warmth from its trunk before slipping past your window as a soft, comforting sigh. The leaves settle. The tree becomes still, and its stillness feels like a hand placed gently on your shoulder, steady, grounding, protective. You feel its presence more than you hear it, a silent guardian standing just beyond the glass, a timeless reminder, you're safe. This night belongs to you. Somewhere in the distance, perhaps in the main room, perhaps in the hallway, the house lets out a final gentle settling sound, a soft creak, a whisper through wooden beams, the slow shifting of heat fading into coolness. It is not a disturbance. It is the sound of a companion getting comfortable, finding its rest alongside you. Old houses do not fall silent quickly. They release the day gradually, piece by piece, settling into the kind of stillness that only time can teach. You listen. It sounds like contentment, a house that knows it has done its job. It is sheltered, it is warmed, it is welcomed, and now it rests too. The rain softens. What was once a gentle patter becomes a faint whisper, thin and steady, like a faraway memory of water. Some droplets tap against the window pane in slow intervals. Some slide across the glass in winding paths that reflect what little remains of the candle's glow. The rhythm grows quieter and quieter until it is barely more than a sensation, a presence rather than a sound. Your breath mirrors it now, soft, light, unhurried, like falling asleep inside a cloud. Your body grows heavier beneath the quilt, your arms resting loosely at your sides, your legs melting into the mattress. You blink once, slowly, then again, even slower. The world tilts softly, as though the room is rocking you in gentle waves. You feel your thoughts dissolving at the edges, loosening from sentences, breaking into soft fragments that float through your mind like feathers carried on warm air. Images appear, the maple leaves shimmering in moonlight, the candle's glow bending gently toward you, the warm steam of chamomile tea rising from your hands, the fire's ember glow breathing like a quiet heart, the hallway's lanterns swaying with soft amber light. They drift in and out without form, without urgency, without expectation. Your mind is no longer trying to hold anything. It simply drifts. Those fragments become softer, fainter, slower, until they are indistinguishable from the dark warmth surrounding you. You hover here, the in-between place, the doorway between waking and dreaming, a place where nothing hurts, nothing strains, nothing demands, nothing pulls, only softness, only warmth, only quiet. You feel yourself sinking deeper into the bed, not falling but floating downward like a leaf, drifting to calm water. Behind your closed eyelids, The candle's glow becomes memory. The sound of rain becomes comfort. The presence of the maple tree becomes reassurance. Your breathing becomes the slow tide of a sleeping ocean. In, out, in, out. Your mind loosens its final thread. Your chest softens. Your body becomes weightless. The house around you feels like it is leaning close, whispering a blessing made not of words, but of warmth, a promise. Sleep. I'll stay awake for you. And with that, the night gathers you gently into its arms. You drift slowly, softly, safely, into the deepest rest you've known in a long, long time. The quilt warms around you. Your breathing evens out. Your body becomes perfectly still. The candle flickers one last time, then steadies and waits with you as you slip peacefully, quietly into sleep.